So today we're going to look at will versus flow. The big question is which one is best? I'm joking. I think we all know which one feels best in will versus flow. I've got quite a nice situation to share with you. It was actually during a workshop, and if any of you have been there, you would remember people mentioned this quite a lot. People that have been in a workshop in London, and we were doing our nice stuff, our chilling out, our nice fuck it, let it go. And clearly in that hotel they decided to not stop the building site during Saturday, or was a Sunday, and we were actually sharing in that moment when it all started, and this really strong drilling sound started coming through, and 10 minutes later it looked like they were not going to stop. And of course there were two options. As I was leading the thing, I could have got up and go complaining and try to make them stop. I mean, I did think about that option. I also did think if these people were having a building site at a weekend, it was probably quite important. And the other option was to make the whatever was happening part of what we were doing, part of the experience. So either to think of it as an enemy, and I mean, by the way, drilling, it's not the most pleasant sound, or whichever way you think about it. But in the possibility of not making it as an enemy, of just incorporating it in what we were doing, there was another option, and that's what we did. I actually did talk about it with the people, and I said, okay, how do we work with this? How do we go with this? And could it be interesting for some of you to have to talk quite loudly? Oops, there's actually John and I, we are in our house, and our son has just rung the bell, a bit like that drilling thing happening. So let's see how it is for me to allow something happening while I'm here with you in a quite relaxed way, talking you through something. How would it be for me to go with this? For me to stay in this conversation with you, to stay in my own flow, and include what's happening outside. Quite similar to, it's interesting because I can feel a little bit in me kind of going like, oh, if Leone crosses this room to go to his room, do I have to do something about it? Could it make me a bit tense? So the experience of choosing to stay in my own connection, in allowing this to be the flow. So there are sounds coming. Ciao. And there's things happening, and is it okay to make space for that? To make that part of what's happening here? Or to have to stop myself? Similarly, that's what was going on in that group experience. People started having, maybe some having fun, or some just allowing it to be interesting, to have, to make enough space for some previously unwanted sounds, to experiment with talking a little bit louder, And in the end, it was actually one of the key points of the whole weekend. This thing that happened, that people chose to go with the flow, but also to stay in their own flow and not fight. And it was the same for me a moment ago with Leone passing through. Noticing a little bit of tightness happening in my body and just going, why do I have to move away from my relaxation and presence? Why can't I just experience this and make it part while I stay in my relaxation and presence?